Pool players and fans from around the world have been coming to the Derby City Classic for the last 20 years for banks, for one pocket, for 9-ball, and this Bigfoot 10-ball challenge has become a fan favorite. 16 of the finest players in the entire planet. Single elimination action, all playing on this beautiful 5x10 diamond. This is round one action, and it's time to meet the players. First up, world 9-ball champion. He has the most all-around titles here at the Derby City, including last year. He's a Hall of Famer and maybe one of the very best of all time. Sponsored by Bear Custom Cues Bouillon Sports from Tarlac City, Django Francisco Bustamante. And his opponent, 2012 Banks champion, 2016 Players 10-ball champion. He's sponsored by Mucci, 2E Management, Jam Up Apparel, Mr. Smooth from Toronto, Canada. Make some noise for John Morra. Our referee for the match is Mr. Ken Schumann.
Thank you, Derek. All right, gentlemen, would you come back for the break, please? This is a race to 11. Fouls with a 40-second shot clock. And now we have the honor to send it upstairs to the commentary team. And that means none other than Mark Wilson and our very own Hall of Famer, DiLiberto. Take it away, gentlemen.
We have the beautiful 10-ball match here on the Diamond 10-foot table, TV arena. 16 elite players from around the world. This is our favorite event of the 9-day proceedings here. Mark Wilson alongside me, Danny DiLiberto. Danny, tell us a little something about Francisco Bustamante.
Well, we got the old guard versus the new guard, sorta. You know, Morro's been around a while, and what I'm amazed by is I go to Toronto a lot. I never saw a bank pool game in Toronto. And Johnny Morra never played it and won the bank pool tournament here. That was very impressive. And of course, we don't have too much we want to say about Bustamante, except he's been a great player now his whole career.
He's won the leg. He'll be breaking. Race to 11. He's 55 years old, widely regarded as the most powerful stroker in the sport. Super firepower, super accuracy, tenacious,
super break. Knowledge.
He's got it all. Derek mentioned it, but I'll reiterate it. If you were talking about the best 5 pool players in the world and you don't have his name in there, then you're wrong. He has a fairly unorthodox technique, however, but it repeats and he makes it work just flawlessly. Well, he overhit that ball.
Yeah, he's not snookered, but he doesn't have a good shot. But I'm sure he'll figure something out. He's not cutting it in, I don't believe.
We are playing with a 40-second shot clock. 1 extension per rack. But he's going behind his back, which indicates he's going to play safe. Well, he's winding up as if he's not playing safe.
Not only that, he almost made the 3, but I think he snookered Johnny Morra.
Johnny Morra now playing opposite-handed from what we've known him to play when he won the bank pool tournament here.
Right. He quit for a while and was going to be a disc jockey, and he came back after a couple of years, and he came back opposite-handed from when he played. And he's in this.
What a nice opening shot there.
I think he's going to be snookered.
Yeah, no thinking about it, but it was a great ball that he struck. Just position was off. The year that Bustamante won this very event, He broke and ran 7 consecutive racks of 10 ball on a 10-foot table against Rafael Martinez, which to me is just amazing that anyone can do that.
Good hit.
When you watch Bustamante play, it's unusual. The stroke will have some wobble. The tip will be off to the side of the cue ball, and then the last stroke, it kind of comes right through the point on the cue ball he's intending to hit, almost as if he's sneaking up on the cue ball. But then he has impeccable speed control, great position routes.
And plenty of heart.
Yeah, he has that. Absolute fearless competitor. One time I was talking to Ralph Souquet, and I said, you know, you're getting ready to play Efren Reyes here. What do you think your lifetime record is? And it was something unbelievable. He was like 19-4. He'd beaten Efren. And this is back when Efren was at the peak of his powers. And I said, well, that's just absolutely amazing. And I know Ralph would never exaggerate. And he says, you know, my record, for as good as it is against Efren, is worse against Bustamante than Efren's is against me. He said, I just cannot beat the guy. And then, you know, Efren would almost always beat Bustamante for that time. So kind of a funny triangle there. And
Oh, no.
And he moved his body.
You're right.
Yeah.
No rhythm there.
Boosty sometimes kind of lunges, but it normally takes place after impact with the cue ball. This time it took place right before. That's a big game, too. Big unforced error. Morra with a nice tempo, nice transition. 1-0, Johnny Morra.
A rare miss for Bustamante.
Alternate the break format here. Bustamante's 55 years old. He was last year's Derby City master of the table. He won the one pocket event and finished so high in the other events that gathered more points and won the $20,000 bonus money.
This is rack number 2. John breaks. He leads 1-0.
Okay, Morra breaking left-handed earlier today. He was playing in the bank pool event out there. I saw him break right-handed, which anyway, as you can see, he's a very straight cueist, left-handed or right-handed.
Solid hit, but I don't think he's going to make anything.
Yeah, he made the 5 in the side.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't that look like he has a shot at the 1, though, does he? Maybe he does. Yeah, I think he does now here on the overhead.
You think he's got a window?
Apparently so. He went around and looked at it to see that how he wants to hit the pocket. So I guess he thinks he can make this. What an amazing talent, though. Can you imagine playing at this level right-handed, then have an injury and come back and learn to play at this level left-handed?
I know one other guy who did that, a black player from L.A. Tugwell.
Cecil Tugwell,
Cecil Tugwell.
But he didn't play this guy's speed.
No.
He was kind of a one-pocket specialist that traveled and would play and could beat shortstops in 9-ball. A nice guy, too.
Good shot. He got the good angle.
Q-Ball went a little further forward than he really wanted.
But it won't hurt him if he makes the ball. He made the ball.
Good shot.
It seems like everybody makes that shot, right?
Yeah.
And it's a tough shot.
All right. 8, 9, 10 is all left here for a nice break and run out.
Yeah, he overdrew that a little. I mean, he'll probably make the ball, but position gets different now that you got an angle like this.
He was a little bit unsettled over the ball the first time, so he took a moment to collect himself.
Oh, what a good shot.
I'll say.
Great shot.
Really good. Well, Bustamante's missed 10 ball has turned into 2 games for his opponent.
And it's not done yet.
Well, this is
It could
alternate the
get
break.
worse.
Right. It'll be Bustamante's break now. There's been times in the past when we used to feel sorry for the head ball here when Bustamante was breaking.
John leads 2-0.
Wow. That was powerful.
Yeah, he didn't even hit him square either, like once he gets loosened up here.
Well, he made a ball and he's got a shot.
Trying to see if he wants to try to take that on kind of to his left as he stands at the table. Guess he could also back cut that ball super fine. Either way, tough shot. Might even try to play it off the 10 ball.
I think it goes off the 10 with a high ball. He played it off the 10.
It's a good shot there. Good cue ball control. So he didn't just, he played it with a purpose. Bustamante's from Tarlac in the Philippines, just north of Angeles City, where Efren resides. Efren's always been Bustamante's hero.
Good hero.
Can I get Sean Bell and Spencer Layton to the tournament desk, please? Sean Bell and Spencer Layton to the tournament desk, please.
Well, he got a little pin on this shot. But he made it look fuller.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Has a hint of an angle to get north of the 8 ball, so it goes past the 10 into the corner pocket. I have supreme respect for any of the Filipino great pool players because it's not an easy thing to acquire those skills in a third world country. Bustamante makes a really classy run out there from his break. Trails in the match 1-2.
Rack 4, John breaking. He leads 2-1.
Okay, bracket number 4 just about to begin with John Morra breaking. Got a pool glove, winding up.
Good solid break.
Yeah, 5 ball found the side. Here comes the 1 ball down by the corner pocket. A very nice layout of the balls.
The tournament desk is looking for Sean Bell and Spencer Layton. If you have not already started your match, please come see us at the tournament desk.
I don't know if we can reach that one.
With the bridge. No, He's doing it without the bridge.
Well, just a hair heavy. Boosty surveying the rail first shot on the 2. A little bit of right-hand side spin. Rail first. Cut the 2 into the corner pocket and then work the cue ball out free of that end rail to get a shot on the 3. 6 ball looms a little bit large. He's elevating as if he's in a half masse to it. He did. He got around the 6, although he did graze it.
Still got a lot of work. No problem for Boosty,
No, unless he gets elevated.
but he got a little funny here. We're playing fouls on everything, so he can't touch that 8. It's a foul. Yeah, he didn't like shooting it. He banked it, sold out. Oh, I guess he didn't like playing position. I thought he had a good shot there, didn't you, Mark?
No, it looked like it was going to be super thin to cut at, so he chose a defensive play. Boosty's looking at billiarding in the 7 ball or cutting the 4, and there is a combination onto the 7 ball, one or the other. Guess he's cutting at it. Oh, Baird scored the first ball, the 7. The 4 kind of hung up there.
Good judgment there.
Nice shot. Really nice shot.
Very, very good.
With the exception of the missed 10 ball by Bustamante, he looks like he's in total control of this table. Comfortable with the angles and the speed. Top spin. Kept the cue ball off the rail. That's all he was really concerned with.
And great speed.
And despite missing that 110 ball, Bustamante is now right at the 900 mark. TPA. Scores tied 2 apiece. All right, that's our lock kid. Django breaking.
All on the side. Maybe another one? No.
Can't tell if he got a shot there or what. I don't think he did.
I don't think so. Oh, he might. I don't know.
Maybe a safety here, Danny.
Yeah, pretty good shot. This is going to be tough to hit. If he goes to the short rail, he's going to have to draw the ball a lot. The other way, the 3 is in the way.
Well, he's going one rail. Yeah.
Which is a tougher shot.
Hard to get separation. To use a little bit of velocity here.
Foul. Illegal contact. Ball in hand.
And it skidded way along compared to what he was estimating. He's looking like he wants to draw it back, but I think he would punch ahead just a little bit, but maybe the angle is too severe. Either way, he got perfect position. Yeah, he's looking at this angle. He's got a little bit the wrong angle. It's pretty full, so it takes some of the pace out of the cue ball, and it's the wrong angle, too. So now he's got to make up his mind if he wants to punch it around 2 rails or try to load it up with some high right English to check it up to get back on that 7 ball.
Yeah, that caused him to miss. He had to put all that reverse English, caused him to miss the ball.
Now Morra, glad to be at the table, but he did not get an easier routine type shot. Can't tell what he's playing here. He could cut it to his left. That'd be a tough shot. Could try to play safe. Safety it is. Oh, good job with the cue ball. One of the things both Danny and I like about this event is that you cannot use a jump cue.
I'm against the jump cue, but I have a rule that maybe when I die they'll use. If a guy accidentally safes you on a miss, you could jump. But if he plays a good save, you can't jump. Simple.
Good shot there.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to see some safes now. Oh, he made it. Look at that shot. Wow.
Smooth. Mr. Smooth. Glides one home. Most of us never learned to play world-class pool or with our dominant hand, let alone switch hands. It's just amazing to me.
You're right. Very tough. Missed. I always was helpless left-handed. Then we had players like Efren. They play almost as well left-handed.
Yeah, Siegel was one. Mizrak was another. Played well opposite-handed.
Players, just a reminder, as soon as your match is over, please report your score to the tournament.
Look at that shot.
How do you draw it like that? I couldn't draw it like that.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Look at that shot. No, that's that power because it was effortless power. I mean, he gets the tip speed up there, but he
You're
doesn't
right,
jerk at it.
effortless.
Look how smooth he got through that.
I couldn't do that in 100 years.
Immediately, as we will be starting round 2 tonight, and the buyback window will close at 10 p.m.
But in that shot, it was not an easy shot to create that angle and get the cue ball, and then it makes the rest of the rack play so routinely if you could hit it. Well, Bustamante now has a chance to take the lead for the first time in the match since he missed the opening 10 ball. And takes it home after that great shot. 3-2 Bustamante be Johnny Morra's break.
Sixth rack, John breaking. Francisco leads 3-2.
One, 2, and 3 on the corners. Morra breaking here, rack 6. Cue ball got kissed into the drink there. That was, he had it tailing that way anyway, so not what he really wanted. The 1, 2, and 3 are all by pockets. Pretty much a optimum start for Francisco Bustamante. There's nothing tied up, Danny.
Right. This would be one of the things we call a roadmap, a Cosmo, and to connect the dots. I like all those terms.
Yeah, this is one of those where you're extremely disappointed if you don't go ahead and win the game from here because you're just not going to get very many opportunities that's better.
And if you're the opponent, you got no hope.
Yeah. Nice path there. That's what the table offered him. Didn't bother to try to do anything funny. Just take what you have. Perfect angle now. I'm always amazed when you look at Bustamante's hand size. I don't know another player that has that type of a hand size. Looks like a dead octopus out there on the table. Did he not get there? He hit the pocket a little full.
A dead
Well,
octopus.
look at how big those hands are, for
Yeah,
his
they are.
size.
They are big.
I don't think he quite got there. Oh, he's going to be real disappointed because the 6 is over the pocket. Yeah, he goes back and points. I could have held the inside angle instead of have to go past the 8, the outside angle. He's going to try to spin this one in, Danny. Super soft, a lot of sides. No, he had to go straight for safety.
And a good one, too. Well, I think he can hit the ball. He's got a big window, but I don't think he could pocket it very easily.
No.
But he certainly can hit it straight on. Good shot.
Great shot from
Good
where he was
speed.
at. Yeah. He's got
Well,
boosted.
we got a 2-rail kick now.
Yeah, that's where he's left him. And Boosty all he can do is use speed and try to play the thickness of the hit to get the cue ball over by the 10.
Good
Look at
hit.
that. Look at
Wait,
that
did he
shot.
make the 9?
Look at the shot.
No, he overcut the 9.
Just remarkable. Worked the cue ball right over by the 10. I don't think that he hooked him, but tremendous effort there.
And he almost made the ball. Oops.
Yeah, Morra lucked one in there, but it was a hard shot
This
that
is
he
not
missed
easy either,
at all.
for position especially.
Yeah, very missable.
Missable it was. But I don't think he loses his head here. He might wind up behind the 9. I don't think Bootsy's going to shoot this. I tried to I freeze him on the 9.
And when Danny says shoot this, he means the straight back bank.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're not getting rewarded with that. You got to play safe one more time here. Is he cutting at this?
No, he's going to bank it and bring the cue ball 2 rails, I think.
Well, that's why he won the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a
What
great
a shot.
He felt
Good shot.
Well, he felt like he had a better chance to succeed with that than the safety.
You're right.
So,
And he's right.
and he executed. You could see it was complete commitment. It was just he knew that he had to go out there naked. There's no hope for trying to get a safety and the bank. So he just committed himself to the bank, willed it into the pocket. Now he's right back in line. Although he did pop up a little bit there, Boosty.
He did. Perfect.
Good shot there. Bustamante now leads 4-2. Well, every match is a feature match. Every match could be the final match, but you'd have to put Boosty in there. If he said I could back him in a tournament, even of this caliber of play, I would be happy to do so. Do you feel that way, Danny?
Yeah, he's a great horse.
There's
He's a great horse.
never quits, positive demeanor. I love it because he's always cheerful and fun to be around. Always have you laughing.
Good temperament. A gentleman all the time.
Yep, pure class.
Track 7, Francisco breaking, 4-2.
Boosty locking down on the break here. Keywell got kissed back into the drink. Scratch, made a ball. So now John Morra gets to come to the table with a relatively good start. Three's gone, so he wants to get position on the 2, go straight in the side so he can get straight in on the 4 and hold it there for the 5 next. Boy, mission accomplished. Good shot.
Johnny Morro's father, Mario, was one of Canada's top snooker players. And he still plays in tournaments, and he's tough to beat.
Did you enjoy playing 6x12 snooker, Danny?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I did. I played pretty good.
Just gonna roll the head a little bit, preserve a somewhat of an angle on the 7 though. You don't want to be straight in. Comfortable angle here to work with for Johnny Morra. This is just speed control. One thing about Johnny Morra, too, that we failed to mention is that there's really hardly anyone that's a harder working player. Puts more time in on the table.
He does. And he had a good sparring partner in Toronto with Alex Pagulayan. They played all the time. Of course, Alex gave him weight. Missed it. He missed it.
Oh boy, not by much.
Yeah,
In
but
there
it counts.
You know, yeah, that's what I meant. But we've seen a couple balls wobble in earlier today that didn't hang with that same type of a hit. And Boosty takes advantage of that. Leads the match now 5-2. You've been around Alex quite a bit. Would you say that he's probably your favorite player?
Definitely. He's the most colorful, and he might be the best all-around player in the world, if you include snooker.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he won the Canadian National Snooker title 2 years in a row, and I saw him run a perfect game in the tournament. That is one of the best feats in any sport I ever saw.
A maximum.
The,
A
you know,
147.
you run every red, every black, and then
the colors.
the other ones in rotation. I think it's 147 points.
Yeah, I've never heard of another pool player creating a maximum, but so I completely agree. And he's a great horse. And once again, if you're talking about the top 5 in the world, better have his name in there too.
You're right. He's here. He's in this tournament. He'll be playing tomorrow. Well, that ball trickled but didn't go. And he sold out the one, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Alex is playing against Fedor Gorst. I'm pretty sure if I
Good
remember
young
right.
player. You're right.
Do you remember?
Remember we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
I said it and you said no. Then you
okay.
checked it and you said, oh, you're right.
Yeah, Fedor Gorst, Alex Pagulayan will be the second matchup tomorrow.
Another great young player.
Yasheshin and Shaw lead it off. Gorst and Pagulayan, followed by one of my all-time favorites, J.L. Chang versus Kachi. And we'll finish up tomorrow's activities with Shane Van Bonen versus Roberto Gomez, Superman. Well, what happened here when I was talking? Boosty missed the shot.
They missed the bank. I think he was banking at the 9, and he hit it short. Good shot.
Real solid stroke on that ball.
Well, he's got to get to the 3. Don't run into anything on the way to it. He made sure of that. Good stroke. Got a good angle here to get to the 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Morra always used good judgment, good percentage play, so now he's switching to right-handed, his natural hand.
It's pretty good to be able to do that.
Play a shot here with my best hand. You know, another one that plays opposite-handed like that is Ronnie O'Sullivan, the snooker player.
I never saw him play.
Okay, well, sometimes in the middle of a match, he will switch hands against other pros and just beat you with his weak hand. And the one pro said, I find that very disrespectful. And he said, if I can beat you with my opposite hand, you don't deserve the respect. So just heading for the center of the table here. Talking to Corey Deuel after his last match, and he was saying they didn't really feel like he did much wrong when Mika stormed back 6 games in a row. I happen to agree. He did scratch on the break once, though, but Mika made some tremendous shots.
Yeah, Mika showed a lot of heart to come back. Fell short.
Very nice. I really like Morra's timing on his transition from backswing to foreswing. He's got just that hint of a hesitation, so it's always smooth, always straight. And then he's got that great knowledge from when he played right-handed world-class pool. That's probably greatly diminished the learning curve to get back up there, and he's clearly his right-hand or left-handed game isn't as good as his right-hand game used to be, but it's getting closer.
What if he's been stalling?
Well, you can see he's not quite as comfortable, and he does miss an extra ball or two, but along the way. But in the meantime, he really, very tenacious. And to try to switch hands, this would be tantamount to saying, I'm going to wrestle that grizzly bear, but take the muzzle off. It's basically the same thing as playing Bustamante with your opposite hand. 5-3 is our score. Bustamante breaking.
5-3.
No, very good break there. Oh, cue ball gets dunked into the side with an ugly kiss. Boosty had the cue ball stopped out there pretty good. The cue ball got kissed back down table and then hit the edge of a ball and dropped in the corner pocket. Morra now has a 110 combination to win a quick game here, Danny.
I don't know if I shoot this. This is missable. I think the run out is easier than this. This is missable.
Yeah, I wouldn't dispute that. It is missable. It's not that easy. This is a 10-foot table. 10 balls a diamond away.
Well, he didn't miss it.
Hit it purely. Captures a quick game there. Bringing the pain, Johnny Morra. 5-4. Name a couple of your other favorite pool players besides Alex.
You mean playing now?
Yeah, modern. Let's go modern. Or you can go all time. I don't mind.
You gotta like Shaw.
Yeah.
And you gotta like Van Boning. Van Boning had a long run. I don't mean he's dead now, but for 10 years he was solid as a rock. America's best player. And then before that, Johnny Archer. But Johnny Archer only played 9-ball. That part I held against him. See, if you play pool and it makes a living for you, you should participate in all the games and for the pool's sake. But he didn't. He played 9-ball only.
That's a good
Ball
break.
in the side.
Yeah, good break by Morra.
He doesn't have a gimme for a shot here. he's going to shoot it, but it doesn't have to go. Anytime you got to shoot a long shot past that side, tough.
Yeah. You can
The
say that
position
again.
is the easier part of this shot. I know he'll get position. I just don't know he'll make the ball.
To me, I would say this shot is 50-50 to make it. Beautiful.
Oh, he brushed the point of the side, but it didn't hurt him.
Very smooth cueing
Very
action.
good shot. Yeah, I don't try to get real good on the 3 here. I just take the shot. He didn't have to do all that to get this same angle, right?
No, but I think he felt like it maybe allowed him to kind of let the shaft out a little bit. Maybe make the stroke go a little straighter, a little freer, rather than suffer any trepidation or nerves or anxiety about making that type of a angled hit. Down here, double checking, triple checking this angle into the corner pocket with a 3. Realizes the cue ball is likely to hit the 10 or the 7.
No, I think he can go right straight between the 9 and 10. I don't think that's a problem.
With it
The ball
inside.
making it is a problem. Not for him.
Went with outside English.
Good shot.
Hell,
You got a little
Yeah.
funny.
yeah, not a great shot, speed-wise. The angle was great, but that's what happened when you put enough pace to arc that cue ball and hold the spin down there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do. Shooting it in the corner, I believe.
Me too. Tough shot. You'll tend to hit this fat when you miss.
If you miss.
Wow, what a pure stroke that was.
Great choke. Great.
So he's going to reel first.
Yeah, that's the angle he has. Boy, that didn't roll off. Good solid stroke.
Two cushions. Johnny Morra, total control of this rack. It's been a little while since we've seen Bustamante at the table. It kissed into the side on the break. And we're all tied at 5.
The way the match is going, all of them might wind up 11-10.
Yeah, no, it is
This
heading
is
that direction.
heading that way.
Hadn't thought that one. Yeah. One of our great listeners and fans, Kathy Jo Sawyers, just sent in, does he have no fear? Meaning Johnny Morra, and clearly he does not. Glad to have you alongside us here on board, Kathy. It's Friday night here at the Derby. Pretty nice crowd. I see Al Bergman, Justin Bergman's father, his Aunt Marcia here in attendance.
This is rack number 11. Francisco breaks.
It's always good to see everybody. So talked to Piggy Banks earlier. He'll probably be doing some bank pool commentary down the way. John Mars sitting ringside.
Well, you got a lot of action so far and didn't make a ball. I think he left the cut on the one. The 2 is sitting a little tricky unless you get to a bank.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't like that path. He was trying to get to the other side. Oh, this is going to be good speed. He got him fair and square, but I'm sure he's going to hit this. Got a one-rail kick with a big ball. You might even make the 10.
On table 43, we need Alex Morakovich. Alex Morakovich, table 43, you're on the clock.
Oh, he
Well,
got
he
cue
got
balls
some
to stick.
action.
Yeah.
But he didn't get away with it yet. But the 3 stopped pretty funny. Oh, that's a good shot. Very good shot.
Really good is right. You got to hit the pocket exactly where you anticipate to have that type of control of the speed over that duration of time.
Pretty good.
Now, is he going to try to go out around the outside of the 7, I guess? Yeah, 2 cushions at the 5.
Right. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
he did.
Okay.
And he did it very nicely. Even though you called it good, too.
Well, the execution, that type of shot plays nicely, and you can see the speed was just right on because he had a little leeway left both ways. So that means he's hitting the pocket very purely. Pretty effective draw. Good shot.
But on a 5x10, you got to not only play position, you got to make sure you could reach the cue ball good.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have went a little too far, but he could reach it. Barely, but he
Yeah.
could reach it. Uh-oh, 50-yard line. I shoot this in the left-hand pocket. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, it's favoring that side, so everything else is a little bit more difficult.
Plus position is automatic.
This is one of those shots that's just a little off-putting because you put yourself here. Had your opponent left you here, you would love it.
I think he loves it now.
I do too, yeah. It seemed like he loved it then too. Well, he's going to jump out to a lead here. First time he's had the lead since Bustamante missed the opening 10.
Bustamante hasn't been to the table much.
No, it's been quite a while. As a question to you, Danny, just out of curiosity, after watching lots of pool and having played lots of world-class pool, if you were to start about today playing and say you had, the fitness of Johnny Morra, what would you train? How would you go about it?
How would I go about it?
Yes.
Playing?
I mean,
Or talking?
practicing. No, not talking. We know you're in stroke there. But to play at this level, would you emphasize anything? Would you just spar?
Be in condition mentally and physically. That's big. The rest will come. Make sure you got the fundamentals of the stroke down. You don't be jumping up every time you're nervous. That's very big.
Rack. John breaks. He leads 6-5.
And if you ask me what I would tell them about fighting, I would tell them to forget it.
Yes. I would take your advice. Good square hit on the break. Did anything go in? No.
The 4 is on the way. No,
Dry break.
made nothing. And look at how they're all apart. Well, except for the balls on the spot. No. No, there's only one ball on the spot. Well, here's Bustamante again. We see him every half hour. He wanted a little more angle than this. He's going to have to pound this. I don't think he can draw it. It's not straight in. No problem with that. No, you don't want to do that, Boosty. You've been sitting too long for that one.
Look at the tip is 8 inches away from the cue ball.
And you never played Boston Shorty. It looks like he's going to touch the cue ball every time.
Yeah.
He's that close.
Most pros are. Jeff Carter was another one. Tip was right up, nearly following the cue ball. Didn't.
Got to do some work to fall on the 5 here. He's going to get thin on it, but he did all right.
Yeah, pretty good for where
He
he
would
started
rather
from.
have been straight, of course. Now he might have to hit 2 rails.
Right. And he would have rather been straight. He still had to travel the cue ball 3 cushions and along. You kind of had to force the path. So reasonable result here.
He's got to go 2 rails. Made it. Good shot. Only hit 1 rail, so I fibbed.
Uh-oh. Phew. Rub the right side of the 8 to at least help a little.
Very little, because it's a thin hit, and the speed is going to be difficult. Not for Boosty.
Beautiful shot.
Wow,
Nice.
that was a good stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people know that reverse on the second rail. Well, even though he was sitting there a while, he got up and stroked.
Solid run out there. 6-6 is our score.
Timeout.
Boosty's going to take a short timeout here. Okay, everybody, we're back. Score is tied 6-6. Bustamante breaking. Looking to right the ship.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. We are back to play. This is the 13th
Started off
match.
Matt Sheehy with a beautiful run out, then a kind of lunge to the routine 9-ball, missed it. Morra then followed that up with winning and breaking and running out, take a 2-0 lead. And Bustamante had a little
Ball on
rally.
the side.
He's going to get a shot on the 1. He's going to be able to hit the 1.
I think this is a shot.
Where to, though?
Cut it in. The left hand.
Side or
No, left hand corner, yeah. I don't think he'll miss this. If anything, position will be tricky, but the 2 goes in the side past the 3, I believe.
Yeah, he's definitely thinking about your shot.
Well, he's got it. He's close enough to hit it thin. No, he's doing something else. what, I don't know.
He's not banking it, is he?
He
No.
played it in the side. But at that speed, the pocket might not have took it anyway. But he didn't hit the pocket. But I think he got away with it so far. Now I'm sure he got away with it.
He had the kick, and he missed it entirely.
No legal contact.
He was kicking safe.
Ball in hand.
I think in that case, just go ahead and hit it. They don't have to stop for a person.
Right. Yeah, that was such a weird angle. And then you had the 5x10 in there. Because he missed it by quite a little margin. It wasn't like he almost hit it.
No. Yeah, you got to just hit that ball. You know, you still got 8 balls on the table. The guy don't have to run out.
Well, it's easy to second guess now, that's for sure. But I'm sure if he had to do it over again, he would take your advice
Hey,
and
a
just go all out to hit
commentator
it.
has to have second guesses here and there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And the converse is, had he hit it, we would never say a word about it, too. He'd just to go on, so. But nevertheless, I'm sure you're right. He should have went all out just to hit the ball and not worry about trying to be cute and use speed to try to make a kick safety from that awkward arrangement of balls.
Hey, I was going to say great speed. He might be snookered.
Oh, boy.
Can you tell?
Well, I can tell that he doesn't have a clear shot straight at the 7.
Well,
I can tell
then that
that.
was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if it's frozen, but he's going to have to kick. You know, I don't know if we have a chance to get the overhead. Looks like we do. I wonder if this is a kick here. He can get off the end rail, still make the ball. It's not hanging in the pocket or anything, but maybe. Yep, that's what he's going for. How'd he
Good hit.
How'd he hit?
Good hit. People got to love that.
What a play. Now, look at this shot. Straight in the side here. This is ultra tough.
Going to be tough. He might have a hair angle, but does the 9 go in the other side?
No, it doesn't go in the side, but it goes in the far corner pocket where the cue ball is located now.
He's got enough angle to get there. He's going to hit the side rail after hitting the 8.
Look how full this is, though. He's going to have to power up pretty
No,
good.
he's got an angle.
Oh, he went in the corner.
Take that.
No.
Well, I was wrong again. I was wrong last year once.
Poor Boosty was disappointed after making such a good kick shot to get so straight on that ball.
Amazing. But Johnny doesn't have a gimme. He's got to work
Oh, yeah, right. And you want to introduce some spin so you don't scratch.
or hit that 10 ball. Don't what? He didn't scratch.
Okay.
Good shot.
Real good. Pretty good challenge here on the 9.
It just seems like nobody misses that.
Yeah. Well, he stayed smooth, and he didn't even need to hit the rail. He could
He
have.
hit it perfect.
Yeah, he hit it so pure. pretty. 7-6, Johnny Morra.
And remember you asked me that question, what I would tell a younger player?
Mm-hmm.
I would tell him definitely don't smoke.
Yeah.
That would be number one.
Even if they aren't a pool player, that would be a number one thing. I don't smoke and I don't chew and I don't kiss girls that do. Just so you know.
Yeah.
This will be rack number 14. John's breaking. He leads 7-6.
Johnny Morra is only 29 years old. Last year on the Pro Tour, he won $27,000. Part-time role.
Oh, he got lucky, made the ball on the side. Oh, he's got a good shot on the one.
Yeah, does the 210? No. Not easily, anyway. Though it's not miles off either.
No, he'll be shooting that.
He needs to get down there and, right where he's at now, South County.
I think he's going to get out. Oh,
he
he
went
hit
too
it
far.
hard. He
Yeah.
went to the side. You think he was trying to do that?
He hit it so hard, I do think he was trying to get down below it and not play the 210 combo. I might be wrong about that, but it just seemed like he really let the shaft out there.
Well, he's all right. If he makes this.
Boy, he's got that good timing on that transition from backswing to foreswing. It's just beautiful to watch. So far from a routine series of balls here, but certainly a manageable series of balls.
Well, he got a little too thin on this ball, but he still can overcome it. Is he drawing the ball one rail?
I think 2 cushions he's going. Avoid rolling. He could kind of
Good shot.
stroke it, yeah.
Good shot and good judgment.
Did you ever play much pool with Bugs?
I gambled with him. I beat him for 10,000 at the rack, and it looked like other people were playing for more. But I wanted the 10,000. Played him one pocket.
Huh. Did you ever notice a guy that looked more awkward with his cueing action than Bugs?
Yeah.
That played high-level pool?
Yeah. A guy in Florida had his wrong foot in front of him. Looked real funny, but he played, and he played good. I think his name was Jeff something.
But wasn't Bugs funny the way he moved? The cue was wobble.
It was funny the way he banked one pocket
Oh.
banks.
That's what I'm saying. For a world class, nobody beat him in banks for so long that they didn't play him for 25 years. But yet his cueing action looked very
That's why he
rudimentary.
wasn't a great 9-ball player.
Yeah.
But he banked like crazy. banks you would never shoot, and he shot them with balls hanging in front of your pocket. Great bank pool player in one pocket banks anyway. I don't think he could have beat Eddie Taylor playing straight out banks, but he banked those one pocket banks unbelievable.
Almost inventing banks. They're banks that you don't routinely see for sure. He would shoot them comfortably. And just like what you said, Nick Varner agreed that he thought that Eddie Taylor was the only guy that had any chance to beat Bugs, and he thought that Eddie Taylor would beat Bugs, but he didn't feel like anybody else. For those that don't know Bugs, he was from Chicago. His real name, Leonard Rucker.
Yeah.
But in the pool world, they only know Bugs.
And you know, what the heck is his name? He was a gambler mostly and a hustler. He's dead.
Don Willis?
No,
No.
I had his name, but now I was watching the game and I forgot it. Pat's probably glad I did.
Well, this is for a 2-game lead. Late stages of the match. 8-6 is our score.
This guy I'm thinking of, he made banks that you wouldn't believe. If I showed you the banks, you'd say I'm lying.
Not Hubert Cokes or
No.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing.
His name will come to me. I had it. He gambled and ran around with all these gaff banks. Busted everybody in Johnson City with one of them.
Rack 15, Francisco breaks. John leads 8-6.
Bustamante breaking here in rack 15.
Well, the ball trickled in the side.
Pretty nice shot on the 1 and 2 right there.
Well, he might be with a little obstruction. No, he probably could cue the ball. You want to cue it and kind of stop the cue ball. Very good.
Good shot there. Made that look easy. It was not.
Don Willis ran around and wouldn't play any players, but his big gap is he would race people, he would run backwards, and they run forwards, and he would beat them.
Yeah, Boosty fell pretty thin on this ball.
Oh, he's okay. He's okay. Just don't scratch in the side. He made sure of that. Oh, he's fine.
Did you ever see Don Willis run backwards and beat somebody? I'm not saying he didn't do it.
No,
I'm
I
saying,
heard
I would have liked
he
to see that.
challenged people, and they all dogged it, but I heard he did it.
Yeah.
He traveled with Lassiter.
Yeah, in the book I read, Lassiter said if somebody had to play a game for his life, he picks Don Willis.
Yeah.
He was known as the Cincinnati Kid.
And he was a great card player. Probably a good cheat.
Cruising the cue ball, the perfect position for the 10. To be Bustamante's second break and run out of the match. 8-7 now is our score.
We're heading for another 11-10.
Rack number 16, John breaks. He needs 8-7.
Johnny Morra eyeing up the break. Wants to make sure he hits him right in the center of the cue ball and very accurately. Remarkably, it's not brute force. It's much more about accuracy for effective breaking.
I agree with you. Well, he didn't make a ball, but he didn't leave anything easy. Boosty might have to play this in the right-hand side.
Yeah. He clearly doesn't like it because that cue ball is going to travel right down by the 2. If he just goes straight topspin. If you introduce some type of backspin to avoid bumping the 2, you then compromise your accuracy on the 1 so drastically. It's like Boosty's just going to go ahead and attack the 2 ball with the cue ball here. See what happens.
He overcut it. And he left the cut, and there's no scratch. The 9 will block the scratch.
And look how many balls are right by the pocket, too.
You're right. Perfect. He never hit another ball.
No. Now he's going to take advantage of all those balls near pockets. Yeah, there's not much to say. You wouldn't even practice shots of this nature. They're laid out so nice. Now this one, now we got a little positional requirement here because you're coming
Right.
across the position
The
zone.
ball's not hanging.
All right, so you got to.
2 feet away from the pocket. He's got to play position now.
Well, so you want to get on the right angle. You don't want to wrestle with it.
I'm kidding a little. They're still sitting pretty good.
Look how good he did there.
The 9 might be the only thing.
Get a good look here at how fluid the transition is of the swing. Nice tempo. Tip stays right on the cue ball. That little extra millisecond that you see with pros shows they're not afraid. They go ahead and complete the stroke. You can even hear the tone of his cue striking the ball, so we know he's not death gripping it, even though we're 30 feet away from the table.
Pretty good. He'll be off the cushion with the cue ball when he makes the 9.
Real good shot there. This would be for a 2-game lead. And now we're going to use, I'm going to credit you, Danny, your math. Boosty has to win 4-1 from here.
Yep.
Not easily done. Okay, Bustamante here, preparing to break in rack 17.
Pretty solid hit.
Oh boy, nothing went in.
Well,
One
look
ball.
where the 1 is.
Yeah. It's so deep, it's actually hard to play position from that ball.
Yeah, but where you're at, you could hit it pretty full. Oh, he'll get position. Cut it and aim the cue ball at the 9. Well, maybe it's not as easy as I think. He's going to do it right hand. Isn't that funny? He wouldn't shoot it left hand?
Yeah, but maybe because of that impediment, the 4-ball I'm talking about, he could bridge it easier or something. No. Doesn't appear that he's real willing to back cut the 2-ball here for the open pocket. The combination's not really laying on.
Well, maybe the ball billiards off the 5.
Yeah, it does, but I think he's playing safe. I think he's going to try to put the cue ball down below the 6 here. No, he's not going to like it, I don't believe. Oh, no, he
got him
there.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can hit it, but he's not going to be able to make it.
Well, that was a good shot anyway from where he was at. Boostie's going to have to place a retaliatory safe. Did he hit a little bit too thick? I think he did.
He might be able to hit it.
Yeah, he might be able to cut it down in the corner.
I don't know. It's close.
The one thing we do know is that it's hard.
Well, he missed it. Didn't lose his head.
A very nice quality of stroke on a super difficult shot.
He might be able to bank this cross side. And he might have help. Well, he didn't hit it hard enough, but he had help.
Interesting. Well, it hit the point. I don't think he was banking. I think he was playing safe.
It looked like he was playing it,
And
but
maybe
he didn't hit it hard enough anyway.
he left it plenty tough. But you couldn't play to leave it this tough. That would be just good fortune if he got there. Johnny appears forced to bank this cross side just because he cannot see another way to extract himself from this circumstance.
Well, I don't know how he'll get to the three.
He's not, yeah. I don't think he can either. He just can't find the safety is the problem. So he's in the chute to defend himself.
Well, now I see how he could.
Yeah.
No wonder he won the bank pool tournament.
He didn't
Did
get
he
hooked.
snook
Yeah,
himself?
I think he did. He's kind of...
Made a good shot.
Now he's got to do a half masse. Boy, he made a great shot there. This is a 5x10. That was not a on bank. You had to manufacture the angle. Well, I think he's going to agonize over this a little bit, and then I think he's going to try to half masse it in. Not because he wants to, but once again, because he's forced to.
He overdid it.
Wow.
Well, he left the cut on it, but the cue ball's going to be wild.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it even goes. Maybe it does.
It does. He's got a full pocket, but position is going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Unless you could spin it into the 9, the cue ball.
It's a hard shot and a hard position. If they're both 50-50, that makes you 1 out of 4, and I don't even know that they're both 50-50. I think he's just ducking, isn't he? Yeah.
Good enough. Good enough. Good speed.
Not sure if he's kicking in behind it, trying to go at it straight on.
I like to kick behind it. Control the cue ball. He got a kiss. And he might have snookered him.
Wow.
He can spin it in, maybe.
Wow. I don't know. That's pretty tough. Even if he spins it in, the cue ball's going a long ways from the 4.
You're right. He can't gain from it.
Well, that double kiss worked out quite nicely, even though it wasn't anticipated. What a great shot that was.
Really, he's
Really,
snookered
yeah.
him dead.
That's the thing with the Filipinos that play a lot of 15 ball. Their capacity to control the cue ball and the object ball, speed and direction wise, is just unparalleled. Because it comes up so often in 15 ball rotation, we're not so much in 9 ball, so we're never going to be as adept as they are because we don't isolate those skills to work on.
Well, that was a good try. Are you going to shoot the 10 here?
Hard to tell if he's trying to thin this and billiard the 10 with the cue ball.
I think that's what he's doing. And he's doing it nicely.
What a shot that was.
It was great.
Oh, my goodness. Bustamante.
Keeps him in the match.
Yeah, that was huge. That was so pure. It didn't even rattle or anything. Just
Nothing perfect.
Oh, boy.
Like from the get-go, it was on.
Once again, another rotation skill that comes up all the time where you got to play that 3 times a game. Everybody's made shots like that, but nobody makes them as effortlessly as the Filipinos. Or as frequently either. Well, 9-8's our score.
I'm telling you, it's heading for 11-10.
Rack 18. John breaking. He needs 9 to 8.
Great
And
break.
2 side balls.
And so controlled with the cue ball.
And
That
he's
was
got
just
a
smooth.
shot on the 1, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Not going to be easy to get the cue ball down table
You're talking about
for the 2. Yeah, off the 1.
I think you go 2 rails. No, you're going to, oh, unbelievable. You might play for the short pocket.
Well, that's, I mean, yeah, he might play
No,
safe.
he don't. He
Yeah.
has nothing.
Here's Billy and Cardona entering the arena. 9-ball Billy, Pittsburgh Billy. Always good to see him. And tucks the cue ball underneath the 7-3. No? Oh, he was able. Good call, Danny. You got him on the short side. That's where he was trying to get.
Thin hit, but he's got a shot.
He doesn't have a shot to cut it in. about his speed here.
He left it. He left a hit anyway, maybe a cut. Might have left him a cut in the side.
It's a very, very thin cut. I don't know if Bustamante wants to
if
take
it's
that
there,
on.
he's going to shoot it.
What a shot that was.
Yeah, and he's got position.
Boosty. Ton of heart, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got knowledge too.
Oh, super firepower. Fearless shot maker. We're all tied up, 9 games apiece. And that's right, I am smiling. We always tell this story, but it's such a good story. We're in Toledo, big tournament, diamond tables. Bustamante is going to gamble after hours with Johnny Archer, 2,000 a set. I know you were there, Danny. I'm telling this for the audience. Boosty wins the first set. Race to 13. Johnny Archer breaks and runs the next 13 to win the second set, and they played a third set. Boosty won that. Then there's a guy that's bought the table when the tournament's over with, and he sees Johnny Archer walking around in there, and he goes up and goes, "Mr. Archer, would you please sign my table? I bought that table you guys played that incredible match on." So Johnny signs the table. Johnny Archer, 13 racks. A little while later, sees Bustamante walking around there, asks him to come sign the table. Bustamante agrees to. Goes to the table, sees what Johnny's written, puts Bustamante, winner. You remember that. You were there.
I'm still trying to think of that bank poop trick banker
Oh,
because it was remarkable stuff.
well, it's a race to 2 from here, Danny.
Race to 2. You got the map down real good now.
Yeah. Well, the 1 ball found the pocket. There's the 2 ball coming down. Nice shot.
It's pretty straight on it.
Looked like it was going to be a... Oh, no, the 1 ball. Okay, that was not the 1 ball. That was the 9 ball. My bad. I was looking on the overhead. This did not look to be an easy shot. So was it a safety? Yes.
And a good one.
Yeah, good job with the cue ball.
Wow.
Yeah, he played it.
What a great shot. That was a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it looked simple.
No, that was far from simple. Rail first, and before the side pocket, and then cut a ball in from a diamond and a half up table.
Uh-oh. Does he have it? I don't think he does.
No, he can definitely make the ball straight in.
He could?
Yeah. Just a matter of the position here. He's going to have to go high, left English, and be careful to not get tangled up on the 8.
Yeah, he's got it for sure.
Good speed.
Perfect. Perfect. Because he was in danger of going behind that 8. It doesn't have any problems now, I don't think. Oh, a little soft. Got
Yeah.
a thin head here.
Right. It's doable, but it's also dangerous.
And position is not automatic. Balls are in the way.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's not just the ball. If it's just make the ball, I'd definitely bet on him. But make the ball and with position. Well, it just takes perfect speed. It's 2 cushions. Just he needs to bounce off the second cushion about a diamond or a diamond and a half distance. He's going further than that, so he went purposefully for over there.
He got real good.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get on the hill first.
Oh, I wouldn't just give it away yet.
No, but I'm making a prediction.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the cue ball naturally wants to track to the center of the table from this shot. The 8 ball once again becomes a large object in the path. Good shot. Look at that. Perfect.
You're right.
Not quite.
Oh, it's
Almost.
perfect. Because he's got position. No, it's not perfect.
No, we're not going to be able to
Thin,
talk this in
very
there.
thin.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a good shot here.
Got to hit the paint.
And the cue ball's got to go to the other side of the side pocket this time. He's going to have to play long position. I don't think he can afford to try to be cute and play short. Just let it go 1 cushion behind the side pocket, and then bounce off the second cushion and get back out. Oh, beautiful.
Except for the cue ball.
Oh boy.
Amazing. Well, I think Bustamante will get on the hill first.
Okay.
I'm fickle.
Mm-hmm. Now, he could come onto this side and just follow over, but I guess he feels like it might skid or something, so he's just going to come down and play it the side. No matter, though. The cue ball got to the same place, and Bustamante's getting on the hill first, 10 games to 9. You know, to play at this level, either player, Bustamante or Johnny Morra, it's not like you practiced real hard. It has to be your lifestyle. It's not like you get up and wonder, what am I going to do today? You have to do it every day. To play
Or
like
everybody could do it.
Right.
No.
Yeah, you got to be consumed where every molecule of your body is devoted towards this. Without that, you just can't compete at this level. And you have to have had that lifestyle and sustained it for a long period of time. Well, last break of the match here for Johnny Morra. He'd like to make it count.
John breaks. Francisco leads 10-9.
Really nice crowd here, tableside. Good cue ball control. Needs something to find the pocket here. Did it? Yep.
Oh,
there
the
goes
last ball
7.
rolling. I used to hate that when my opponent broke and made the last ball rolling in. I would get crazy. And that's what happened here. But it's destined to be another hill. Great shot.
Yeah. Worked the cue ball down there close where he could do some damage.
Now, do you pound it one rail or do you go two and you got to avoid balls?
This angle looks like he's going to use low left.
Yeah, and
Just my opinion.
whack it. Hit it hard. Nicely done.
Yeah. That got a little peculiar.
Yeah, the 9's in the way. But don't forget, this guy's a switch hitter. He can bridge right-handed or left-handed. Pretty tricky here.
Yeah, I'll say. Because you either almost have to stun in there, pop it, withdraw, you're jacked up. Or maybe you can just roll the head. If that's the case, I guess that is the ideal circumstance. Just roll at soft speed.
Overcut it badly.
Yep.
He didn't sell out, but he might have to have a kick after this. Boostie's going to snooker him here.
I think Boostie's banking to win here.
Oh, boy. That is the win. No problems now. Never a doubt.
2 balls away.
You know,
Yep. Stop
He-
shot.
he's out for sure.
And Django moves forward here, winning this match 11 games to 9. Great effort by Johnny Morra. This has been World Class 10 Ball presented by Accu-Stats. On behalf of Mark Wilson and Danny DiLiberto, join us again soon. So long for just a while.
That match is coming.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the Zero Flex Point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.
Introducing the patented Simonis X1 Chalk Dust Removal Tool. In order to keep billiard cloth playing like new, it needs efficient cleaning. With that in mind, Simonis devised and developed a totally innovative accessory, the Simonis X1. Now, you don't need a brush that pushes chalk dust around the table or into the weave, or a vacuum that can stretch and damage cloth if used improperly. The Simonis X1 quickly and quietly extracts chalk dust from the cloth and retains chalk particles in this revolutionary high-tech structure. How? The Simonis X1 works using static electricity and capillary action. Apply light pressure and use a rapid back and forth motion instead of the exaggerated pressure which is needed with a brush. The X1 gets the job done quickly, quietly, and efficiently. After cleaning the table and cushions, you can use the Simonis X1 to delicately brush the playing surface in parallel lines in order to give the cloth a well-kept and groomed appearance. The high-tech textile structure of the Simonis X1 possesses a high absorption capacity and can easily retain the dust of half a cube of chalk. That's a lot of chalk. Cleaning the Simonis X1 is easy. You can release the dust absorbed by the high-tech textile structure to restore its initial effectiveness. To do this, you can vacuum the face of the Simonis X1 or simply beat or slap the underside of the Simonis X1 with your hand to release the dust. It's as simple as that. Thank you. We hope you enjoy the revolutionary new Simonis X1.